He showed me a picture of his wife on his phone and 30 minutes later of his mistress. Right then and there, I knew that if he was willing to cheat on his wife, he would be willing to lie to me as well. Today, we're answering the most asked negotiation questions on the internet. Let's go! Welcome to the I'll try to answer your questions negotiator. Good to have you join us for the first time or as one of our loyal viewers. We assist you with your negotiations. Visit soundnegotiator.com to get in touch for negotiation support or training. What is negotiation? Negotiation is a discussion aimed at enabling decision making. It's a series of mini negotiations focused on addressing decisions that lead to progress, rather than just sealing a deal. It involves understanding both parties' needs and problems, striving for outcomes that truly work. Okay, that's a bit abstract, so to give you an example, imagine negotiating a merger between two companies. Each stage, from financial terms to employee transition, requires its own set of discussions and decision. It is not one negotiation, but many small negotiations, each aimed at making decisions on both sides. It starts with, do I want to buy? Yes or no? And do I want to sell? Yes or no? And it ends with, do I sign this final contract? Yes or no? Next question. What typically happens when you compromise during a negotiation? The risk of compromise is that you both don't get what you wanted. You both give up something, but neither of you solves their problems. We recommend you dive deeper into the other party's world to find opportunities to create real solutions. It takes away the need for compromise. And remember, no deal is better than a bad, over-compromised deal. An example, if you're negotiating payment terms with a supplier, rather than meeting in the middle, understand why they need upfront payments, which might uncover alternative schedules that benefit both parties' cash flows. Please like and subscribe. We want to continue to grow the channel with your support. And algorithms love that stuff. What is BATNA? Okay, let me just answer that. It means best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It represents options that can be pursued if negotiations fail. And let me tell you, everyone who wants to show they know something about negotiation will throw that term around like it is the answer to every single negotiation question. At Sound Negotiator, we realize that you are often negotiating without feasible alternatives. That's why we prioritize understanding over alternatives by focusing on the other party's world and how you can negotiate in their world to their benefit. And if you can't, the alternative is no deal, which is absolutely fine as well. A bad deal will cost you more in the long term than no deal. Plus, it is better to have a good plan for this negotiation than a fantastic strategy for an alternative. If it is such a great alternative, you should go after the alternative in the first place. An example, if you're negotiating a software license but can also consider open source options, knowing you have a BATNA provides leverage. But the reality is often your IT department has already told you that they want to get the license or go open source. So what does the alternative mean in that case? What is a distributive negotiation? Okay, here we go with the theory. I'll try to answer these as best as I can, but I'm not a big fan of all the terminology. This negotiation style is called competitive. It is about splitting the pie and trying to get the biggest piece for yourself. Let's be honest, most negotiations are like this. The focus is on dividing resources available, which reduces opportunities for value creation. But in most negotiations, we don't know the size of the pie anyway. There's no full visibility or transparency. For example, haggling over the price of a used car at a dealership is distributive. Each party wants to maximize financial gain. Yet, understanding the dealer's need to meet quarterly sales targets could lead to extra concessions or perks. Remember, in their world, to their benefit. So, now you know. Not sure how it will help you with your negotiations, but anyway, what's next? What is an integrative negotiation? And of course, the next one, the opposite of distributive negotiation. Integrative negotiation is about making the pie bigger by addressing the interests of all parties involved. It focuses on collaboration to find solutions that meet the needs of everyone, whereby the pie gets bigger, thanks to the great collaboration. People love to hear this. It is like win-win. Terminology that sounds great, but is hard to see in action. An example is that you discuss the collaboration you have with a big supplier, and thanks to that discussion you find a way to innovate so that you have a better product with lower costs and higher margins for all involved. It happens, but not that often, unfortunately. What can we do to add more value? How can we help you? Let me know in the comments or send me a message. Next question. What options does a buyer have after a seller submits a counteroffer? Well, take it and run, rejecting it and run, and continuing the negotiation? Choices depend on how well the counteroffer meets their needs. If the counteroffer is in their world to their benefit, a deal can be expected. If it is not, you will see that the negotiation continues. The good thing is that with a counteroffer, you already know that there is most likely a willingness to negotiate. So you can continue to negotiate to get the best possible outcome. Just make sure you keep asking open-ended questions and analyze where they have moved from their original offer. What is the negotiation process? The Sound Negotiator method breaks down the negotiation process into 5 steps. Why and what? Why are you negotiating and what are you negotiating? With whom? Understand the personalities and resources involved. Negotiation preparation, gather information, data and build your strategy. The actual negotiation, conduct the negotiation, observe and make notes. And 5, the last step, negotiation outcome. Review and record what happened. This allows you to improve your negotiation skills. This is not a question, but it's Google often. Negotiation skills. Yes, my answer is yes. No idea what the question is here. Work on your negotiation skills. Learn to observe and listen. Learn to make notes. Practice your ability to ask the right open-ended questions at the right time. Apply the in their world to their benefit principle. Don't be afraid of no. Let people say no to make them comfortable. I can keep going if you want. Negotiation strategy. Yes, make sure you have one. Download the Sound Negotiator Assistant from the app stores to create a strategy for your next negotiation. What does a negotiation strategy look like? A negotiation strategy is a plan that outlines how you'll approach a negotiation. It includes an agenda, a script, a list of questions, your do's and your don'ts, stuff like that. But also, and that is more difficult, what tactics will you use? And more importantly, why? Because that is what it is about. Why will your ideas work? The Sound Negotiator Assistant can help you to create the first part. The second part is sometimes too difficult for AI to draft, but I can assist with that part. Just contact me. What else do you have for me? What role does leverage play during your negotiations? Not a term that comes up all the time when the topic is negotiation. Leverage is about understanding your position relative to the other party. It takes time to determine this, but most of the time people just claim to have leverage, and even more often that the other party has it. What I can say is that it plays a big role, but that you can counter most of the leverage issues by being well prepared for your negotiation. And please, please, please don't pretend to have leverage if you don't. Or at least don't do that for strategically important negotiations, because the other party probably already knows or will find out that you are lying and it will cost you a lot of money. Don't bluff. It's better to be honest. An example. Our leverage at Sound Negotiator is that we are focused on negotiation and that we can help you with that part. It doesn't mean we are better at what you do than you are, but when it comes to negotiation, we add value. That is our leverage and that is our USP. On to the next one. How do you present the value you bring to the table when you're negotiating a deal? Communicate your value by connecting your strengths and solutions directly to the needs and problems of the other party. That means that you start with finding out what the other party is looking for, by asking open-ended questions and by asking them how you can assist with that. Remember, you can't make them buy or sell something if it's not beneficial for them. So make sure that whatever you want is adding value for them. Oh, and use clear, evidence-backed examples that demonstrate your unique contributions and how they positively impact the person on the other side of the table. Example. During a job interview, demonstrate value by presenting a project that saved your previous employer time or money, supported with metrics alongside a proposal on how you could bring similar value. What should I do if the other party is more powerful? Let me start off by saying that it is often perceived that way, but most of the times it is not correct. Why would the other party talk to you if they are so powerful? If there's a willingness to communicate, there's an opportunity to negotiate. Never forget that. To answer the question, in such cases, focus on your unique insights and contributions. Build relationships based on trust and understanding. Use questions to uncover and highlight benefits. And know that power dynamics can shift through careful negotiation and preparation. Let me give you an example. In discussions with a powerful industry leader, showcase how your innovative solutions or niche services align with their long-term objectives, creating an opportunity for collaboration they might have underestimated. Next. How do I negotiate my salary? Just like you do any other negotiation. Follow the Sound Negotiator steps and operate in your employer's world to their benefit. Align your skills and achievements with the company's objectives and present what you will do for them and how that will solve their problems or challenges. Engage with empathy to understand the employer's perspective and show that you will make their lives easier. In return, you can ask for a salary you have investigated to be realistic or ask them to increase their offer. This is one of the most Googled questions, so perhaps we should do a full video on this in the future. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. How do I negotiate with clients or customers? Yeah, sorry, but it doesn't matter who you negotiate with. The principles are the same. Begin by understanding your client's challenges and needs. Use open-ended questions to explore their world. Align your solutions with their goals and discuss how your offering addresses their interests. It shows that you care, and that way you don't make it overly transactional. Let me give you an example. If you found out that a client is hesitant about costs, illustrate the long-term returns of your service with case studies that resonate with their specific industry pain points. Or offer to work on a no-cure, no-pay basis. Should I negotiate with difficult or unethical individuals? Great question. Love it. Approach these situations with caution. Assess the risks and be guided by ethical standards and long-term impacts. It's crucial to establish clear boundaries, and remember that walking away is a great decision if it protects your interests and values. If someone can't be trusted, they will most likely also try to take advantage of you. Can you protect yourself? Is it really worth it? If in doubt, don't do it. I remember well that I was negotiating with someone who I didn't know that well, but he showed me a picture of his wife on his phone and 30 minutes later of his mistress. Right then and there, I knew that if he was willing to cheat on his wife, he would be willing to lie to me as well. Just be careful if people can't be trusted. We stand for open and honest negotiations, and without trust, you're in trouble, especially if the negotiation is for a longer-term collaboration. Do you want to get answers to these and similar questions? Download the Sound Negotiator Assistant from the App Stores and get answers to all your negotiation-related questions and advice on how to apply the theory. Link in the description. We make videos to help you, and because we like it, of course. Visit soundnegotiator.com to get in touch for negotiation support or training. Good luck with your negotiations. Want more negotiation content? Check out this video. YouTube thinks you will like it. Cheers!